Hello everyone, I am Clyde and this is a Clyde Plays News special report. Now earlier this week, Wargaming announced some pretty big changes to the contents of Supercontainers. On my live stream yesterday at twitch.tv/ClydePlaysLive, I promised that I would write a simple software simulation that would kind of try to find out what the changes really meant for World of Warships players over the long haul. In short, Wargaming made the contents of a supercontainer worth about half as much as they were worth before, but not exactly half as much as they were worth before. More on this just a little bit later. Now, there are basically three scenarios in which we get super containers. The first one I should say, is the reward for completing some kind of mission. Maybe it's a combat mission, or maybe it's the last of the daily login prizes that we get during each patch. The second is during a special event, like maybe the WoW's birthday, which occurs in the fall, or the holiday event that follows in December. During both of these events, we might get a super container for playing all of the ships in our ports of a given tier as a reward. During these two types of ways, I guess, that you can get a super container, you get a flat number of such containers for completing some task. We can kind of think of them as Scooby snacks for World of Warships players. The number of containers that you get is decided upon by Wargaming, as is the availability of these containers, because both of those events are time gated. That is to say that the WoW's birthday is in the fall. You don't get WoW's birthday containers in February. The holiday event is in December. You don't get Santa originated super containers for playing your tier, I don't know, 9s or whatever it is, in July. The third way that we can get a super container is that every once in a while, when you are collecting one of your 3 daily XP containers, RNG will smile upon you from above and you'll be granted a super container. Now, technically, this third case is also up to Wargaming when you get one. And just like the others before, it's time gated. You can only open 3 of these containers each day. The algorithm for the 3 daily drop containers has been modified so that when these changes go live, you're going to get about twice as many super containers as you got before the changes. And I told you earlier, like a minute ago, that you're getting about half as much stuff, half as much loot or resources or what have you out of each super container. So in the case of the super containers that you're getting through your 3 daily crates, you should be getting approximately twice as many containers with half as much stuff in each one, which should balance itself out pretty much in the end. However, this is not the case for the super containers that we get as part of missions or those special holiday events like the WoW's birthday event that I was talking about earlier. Now, to be fair to Wargaming, we don't know what their plans are for the rewards for those kinds of events in the future. We only know what they've done in the past. It could be that they choose to swap in some other reward that's worth more than these new, less super containers. Realistically though, until the birthday event rolls around in the autumn, we're just not gonna know. So for now, I'm gonna wait and see what happens. Now for the results of the simulation. So the sim that I ran was trying to understand the difference between receiving 2 new crates versus 1 old crate. To illustrate this, I simulated opening 4.5 million super crates, 3 million new ones and 1.5 million old ones. If the new ones are worth half as much as the old ones, opening these 2 piles of boxes, 3 million news, 1.5 million olds, should result in 2 piles of resources that are about the same. Now, since Wargaming didn't do a straight 50% reduction of all of the same contents for both types of boxes, we know they're not going to be perfectly equal, but I think looking at those differences will help us understand a lot about what it is that Wargaming is trying to do with this change to the economy. So I'm going to put over here a little table that shows everything. You guys can read it over. First of all, I want to call out how this works. So the left side is 3 million new boxes, and the sum total of all of the stuff that you would have gotten out of opening 3 million new boxes. The right side, the yellow side, is 1.5 million old boxes and the sum total of all of the loot that you would have gotten out of those super containers. The highlighted green squares basically are where we saw one side beating the other side by a big enough margin that it means something. If you look down at all the signals at the bottom, those numbers are within maybe a few hundred of each other. Those are all basically the same number, but there was some variance thanks to RNG and how all of that stuff works in software simulations. So the first thing I want to call out is ships. You're going to get more ships out of the new containers than you get out of the old containers. 18.5% more rare or tier 10 ships, 48.9% more tier 8 or 9 ships, and about 30 or 29.25% more tier 5s and 7s. Now remember, those are percentages of a very, very small chance to drop a ship. The numbers are not amazing, but you will hear about more people getting more ships out of the new containers than you did out of the old ones through sheer volume of opening containers. Doubloons were way better in the old crates, so we can see Wargaming pulling back the doubloons we would have gotten out of super containers by a big margin. The old ones got 63.94% more doubloons, and premium time is kind of in the same boat. Now, if you've got lots of premium, you don't care about premium, this is probably a positive change for you. But if you're a newer player or somebody who doesn't have a big stock of premium time, the reduction is not going to be great. The old containers got 58.19% more premium time, and that was because you could get a 30-day drop of premium time out of a super container, which is no longer available in the new super containers. Economic bonuses changed quite a bit as well. The old crates were really, really good about giving you green eco bonuses, and they would actually give over 61% more green eco bonuses than you're going to get out of the new crates. But the new crates are going to give you a ton of gray economic bonuses. Gray economic bonuses are worse for two reasons. Number one, you get more of them, which means they take longer to burn through if you're going to use them in matches. Every match lasts somewhere around 15 minutes, like this, if you're just playing randoms, and a gray bonus takes just as long to consume as a red one. So when you're using a gray one, you're spending the same number of minutes in match, but you're only getting gray, multipliers instead of red multipliers, which is faster. This is common sense, of course, but the idea that those gray bonuses take longer to use and provide you with less rewards slows down your progression, gets you to play the game longer. All of this is fine, but for players like me who have a lot of green bonuses, I'm just going to sell all the gray ones. This is a negative change for me. And the reduction in greens isn't great either. The blues are basically unaffected. You're going to get about the same number of blues out of both types of crates. The other thing that's different is that the new crates introduce Elite Commander XP, or what we call the free Commander XP, Commander Free XP. The Elite Commander XP is a currency we've seen Wargaming plug into a lot of things. We're getting it in a lot of places these days as a new currency, a new prize they can give us. I like that this currency is becoming more available for common players because, contrary to what a lot of people think, the commander grind is huge. You guys know this if you're avid followers of my YouTube channel. I talk about this constantly, but commander XP grind, it's like 3 million XP from 0 points to 21 points. It's just under 3 million XP. So it takes a long time to do that. So this is a good thing. But we are seeing this being given out as a prize very frequently. So I wonder if we're going to start getting tons of it, and it's going to be less and less valuable over time. This is something, of course, to keep your eye on. And then finally, research points are new. They're not in the old super containers. They are in the new ones. And that's a way of making research points just a little bit easier to get than they have been historically. I would love to know what you guys think of this change. Hit me up in the comments down below. Is this good? Is it bad? I think there's generally a sort of a grumbly kind of attitude about this change. I like the idea of getting more super containers more often. I like the idea of getting research points out of them. I don't like the idea of the doubloons being cut back a little bit. I don't like the idea for newer players, at least, of the premium time being cut back, although for me that's a fine change. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Thanks a ton for watching. I hope this was interesting or entertaining. If you want to come and hang out with us on Twitch, we do live World of Warships streams multiple times a week. Twitch.tv/ClydePlaysLive. You can also join the Discord. The link is down below, and I'd love to chat with you guys in there. All right, I'll catch you next time. Take it easy, and until then, be cool, be nice. We'll see you later. We'll see y'all later. I'm leaving that in there.